This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
It's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. Did the Oscar noms yesterday on Celebrity Sleaze. And we have our official, when we have a movie emergency, Matt Goldberg from the Atlanta Film Critics Circle comes on. Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm good. Glad to be back with you guys.
I see you staring. Is there a reason that you're staring at this?
I see a fat stack of cash.
It's for real, people. It's for real. He hangs on to it every day.
People don't believe I carry this around, so we're trying to give it away. And Monday's your next shot, so go to 99x.com and sign up to play the Show Quiz Showdown. All right, Oscar people, because I know, Leslie, this is like your freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I do have some questions, for Matt. Matt, first of all, Amelia Perez setting an all-time Oscar record for a non-English language film with 13 nominations. Have not seen the movie. I've heard mixed reviews. Thoughts?
I don't think the movie is very good, but I think Netflix has a lot of money. Honestly,
you nailed it.
That's what we're looking at. I think when you look at the overall, oh my God, how did this get so many nominations? Keep in mind that this is a campaign, and campaigns run on money. Netflix has a lot of money. So does Searchlight, which is why you saw so many nominations for A Complete Unknown, a lot of nominations for Wicked from Universal. And that's not to say these movies are deserving, undeserving, but if you're like, well, why didn't this smaller film get any nominations? The studio may not have had the juice to really get it in front of voters.
Okay, explain that for simpletons like me. When you say they have all the money, they have all the nominations, how is that money channeled to produce a nomination?
So really, when you look at the Academy, it's a large body of voters. And the challenge for any studio is, how do we get this movie at the top of the stack in front of voters to say, we want you to see this and we want you to like it? So part of that is just screeners. That's the basic level, making sure there are plenty of screenings, Q&As, getting people to them. And then there's a lot of glad handing. So if you have the cast members, the director going to these luncheons, you host some luncheons, you're like, oh, it's so great to talk about the film with you. And you put a personal face on the film that you're trying to promote. And that also carries over to acting nominations. If you're an actor who's willing to get out there and campaign for your performance, you're more likely to get a nomination than someone who stands back and is like, well, I'll just let the work speak for itself.
Yeah, just like anything.
It's so funny. You used to hear that all the time about, people campaigning for the Golden Globes, but I guess you're right. It's the same with the Oscars.
Absolutely. There's a lot of money on the line. I mean, an Oscar nomination or an Oscar win can translate to more viewers, more, if Amelia Perez getting 13 nominations is going to translate to, if not more Netflix subscribers, then certainly people who are already subscribers taking time to spend time on the platform and dumping there. It's like, okay, well, let me see what this movie's all about. I don't think they're going to be happy about it, but they're going to watch it. They're going to be like, oh, this is a musical, even though the songs are no good.
I would love your predictions, though, because, you do this for a living. Let's just run through the best movies. Who do you think could win or should win?
Okay, that's a good question. So if we start with Best Picture, I do want to say, I think Amelia Perez, when it has that many nominations, you can't just write it out of the mix. It does have a chance to win. But I also think your front runners are Conclave, Anora, and The Brutalist. I think all four of those have a real shot at winning Best Picture. And it'll be interesting to see in the month ahead as the guilds vote for their stuff, the Producers Guild, the Directors Guild, who comes out on top.
How has the money thing worked with Baldoni and Blake Lively with all the press that they're getting in a negative tone, albeit, but doesn't that also affect movies and their streaming numbers and in the end their money?
I think, to me, that certain situation, I think, has spiraled beyond the movie. I think there may have been a first flush of ooh, I have to see It Ends With Us. But now it's sort of going beyond that.
It doesn't help?
I don't know if it helps or hurts. I think the story is now bigger in a way than just the movie. I think if it were something dealing with the film, but I think because it dealt with sort of behind the scenes stuff. Now, that's not to say it, fewer people are going to watch it now, but I don't know if it is helping or hindering its numbers.
Matt Goldberg's in studio with us. We're talking Oscars. Do you think, because based on the previous shows that have already happened, that Adrien Brody is just a shoo-in for Best Actor for The Brutalist?
You know, he does look like the front runner. It's looking likely, but I can't completely count out Timothée Chalamet. I really think that there's a lot of love for that performance. It's a way for voters to show how much they respect Bob Dylan's body of work. It speaks to that sort of the generation of older Academy voters. I mean, not that young people can't love Dylan. Dylan's great. But I think I wouldn't count out Chalamet, who apparently has also been sort of campaigning hard. He's been doing the rounds, being very front and center in a way that I'm not sure Brody has. Also, the tick against Brody is he's already won. So will he get that second win?
So what is... Like, twofold question. What do you think the odds are Demi Moore reels in the Oscar? And two, what does that do to her career?
So I think Demi Moore, and some people may disagree, I think she's the front runner right now. Because
That's
there's
crazy.
really no one else in that category that I think has the competitive edge. It's not like last year where it's like, is it going to be Emma Stone or Lily Gladstone? It really is Demi Moore and everyone else.
Wow.
So if she can keep the momentum up, I think it's great. And I think it really is a turning point for her career. It's going to get her better roles. Even if she doesn't win, I think we're looking at a new phase in Demi Moore's career, and I think that's really exciting.
Do they give her a lot of credit for the back catalog? I mean, because there was never really anything Academy Award worthy, was there? Prior?
Look, some people are going to be like, are you kidding me? But Ghost slaps.
Okay.
Ghost is an amazing movie, and if you haven't seen it in a while, you should go back to it. But I think, Demi Moore, it was a question of, like, could she ever find the right stuff? But look at her in A Few Good Men. That's a great supporting performance in that film. So she's had the goods. I think it was a matter of, as she said when she won her Golden Globe, people told her that she wasn't serious, and it took her sort of moving beyond that and understanding that, yeah, actually I do have talent and I can make great films. And her performance in The Substance is fantastic.
What do you think about Carla Sofia Gascon? Because isn't she the first trans woman to be nominated?
She is, and I think that's a great bit of history. I really wish it were for a better movie. I think it is sort of, again, the problem with the Netflix steamroller is that it's great at pulling in a lot of nominations, but if you look at their track record, they don't win a lot. Like, I think last year they got like something like 10 nominations for Maestro and 0 wins. So it's one thing to get the nominations. Can you get it to the finish line?
Yeah,
I don't know
take it.
Yeah, I don't know if Amelia Perez gets to the finish line there.
What are the biggest snubs in your opinion that you were shocked? You were shocked it didn't make it.
I will say the thing I was shocked the most about, and when it happened, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Challengers, the score for Challengers from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, not nominated for Best Score.
How?
I'm
shocking.
baffled. I think that's a real oversight. I'm also surprised that Nickel Boys didn't get Best Cinematography. And for those who have seen the film, it's a film where it's entirely shot from a first-person perspective. And that's a really interesting way to shoot a film. It's a really challenging way to shoot it from the first-person perspective. No nomination there. And I'm also really bummed that Daniel Craig wasn't nominated for Best Actor for Queer. I think, Sebastian Stan is very good in The Apprentice. I think he's better in the film A Different Man, but I think Daniel Craig in Queer is better than both of those performances.
And what about Nicole Kidman?
That I don't care about so much.
I can't believe that was even in the conversation, to be honest.
Baby Girl did not do anything for me. I thought it was honestly kind of tame if you compare it to something like Secretary, which came out like 20 years ago.
That was a great one.
Yeah, and I think Baby Girl is just uninteresting. I also don't think it's that interesting of a Nicole Kidman performance, to be honest. I think she's done much better work in Eyes Wide Shut, To Die For.
She takes
Destroyer.
everything. Does that water it down? She literally takes everything that comes with a wine glass or taking her clothes off.
I mean, what's weird, you say that, and yet I don't think either of those happened in Paddington, but I'll have to go back and look.
I'm surprised if it didn't. She probably writes it in. I mean, I don't know why that was even in the conversation, and that's no diss to Nicole Kidman. It just seems like for that movie, why are people considering that a snub?
I think it's because Nicole Kidman. Yeah, she keeps reemerging, but this was not her best work, I think, for Baby Girl. I think she's done better work elsewhere.
Let's plug your newsletter.
Yeah, you can check out my writing on Commentary Track, which is just at commentarytrack.net. I'll have an article up about Amelia Perez and if it's this year's Crash for those who have opinions about that Oscar winner. So be sure to check that out.
All right, let's get you back in here for a recap of what actually does happen. Because, man, you know your stuff, Matt Goldberg.
Oh, thank you.
Atlanta Film Critics Circle. Again, give the website out one more time if people want to follow.
Commentarytrack.net.
Perfect. Matt Goldberg. This is the original. It is 99X.
Hi, I'm Joe Saul-Sehy, host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast. Every week, we talk to experts about saving, investing, personal finance trends. Oh, crypto. Can't do it.
You could have done all that research, all the breadcrumbs, and thought this company's never going bankrupt.
Foiled again. You never knew personal finance could be this fun. Throwing down the gauntlet.
I'm bringing it today. I'm only going to be off by 6 figures instead of 7.
Every boy has a dream, Doc. Every boy has a dream.
For sure.
Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.